So I keep meaning to write down questions and I keep forgetting, so I'm just going to ask you randomly. So the first question is, what was the reason you came here?
The first time I came here is because I think I was just having some problems with my husband, which were getting worse over the years, but I thought it was just me, because I was losing my temper quite a bit and I was just arguing about small things, and I just thought it was just me getting older and hormones and things like that, until one day I was upset and I said certain things to him that I would never say before, never imagined saying before. And my friends, they also come here, so they've been telling me for a while now to come, and I keep telling them, no, I don't really need to go because there's nothing wrong with me. I don't think I have any issues. And that was over a year ago. And then, I don't know, one night I had 𝗔𝗹𝗿𝗂𝗏𝗂. That night I decided that I was going to come, and then I came the following day, and that was it really. That was about 6-7 months ago.
So that was the reason why you came, because of the problems with your husband?
Just usual, normal things, husband and wife, just arguments, and also actually I felt a distance from him for a long time. He would even tell me, I want to hug you, but I can't, I feel like there's something stopping me. He would say these things to me, and I would feel the same as well. When I was away from him, I'd miss him, but when I'm at home with him, sometimes he'd irritate me for no reason. I just feel irritation when I'm around him, near him. This actually happened right at the beginning of our marriage. I've been married for 12 years now. The first couple of months, I remember it was like this, and I didn't think anything of it. I just thought, it's from the shaitan. We're newly married, these things possibly will happen. So I just used to play Quran and help me kind of sleep at night. Otherwise, I used to feel irritation and burning when I was near him. Then that eventually stopped over the years, and then it started again a couple of years ago. Yeah, that's what's been happening between us.
When you were young, going back to before you were married, did you have any, a pretend friend?
I didn't have an imaginary friend or a pretend friend, but I did experience a lot of things when I was young. One of the things I've experienced was actually before my memory. My mum had told me when I was older that it had happened. Other things, like, when I think about it now, I feel like it was a dream, but I know it happened. I'm sure I've levitated down the stairs before when I was really young, maybe when I was about 5, 6 years old. I used to find money in my drawer just randomly, and I know no one had put it there. I was really young, and it happened for a long time, and then I told my mum, and then it stopped. Just small things like that, and I've been exposed to jinns and things like that growing up.
What do you mean being exposed to jinns? How?
So there are other people afflicted within the family. Then I wouldn't have thought of it as affliction, and my idea of possession was completely different to what I've learned since coming to Ruqya. So some people are afflicted within my family, and it's sort of started, I don't know when it started, but back home we have a grave in our courtyard, and it was a grave of a 𝗙𝗺𝗙, if you know, 𝗙𝗺𝗙, that's what we call a 𝗙𝗺𝗙, and within that area there's jinns who just sit there, I guess, and it's their place, and they just sit there, and it started like that basically. This was more than 30 years ago, and then as we got older, we experienced certain things, and we used to actually sit, and they would come and they would mingle with us and talk to us, and my family would, I think, ask for their help if there was a situation, for example. So we know that they're jinns, and as far as we know that they're Muslims, they're mu'mins. So that happened for many years. We would sit and they would come, and it was like a big thing, a big gathering. It's just family members, but a big gathering, and that happened for many years until we became adults, and we then advised my mum, no, this is wrong, I think it doesn't seem right, and then I started questioning it as well. because this was normality for us, this is not something that we could talk to anybody else because they wouldn't understand. It was just so normal for jinns to be around us and for them to possess. At that time, I didn't see it as possession.
How would they possess your member of the family? How would they possess that person?
So they would be, I guess, called upon, and they would come, and then they will start talking through things like that. Yeah.
What would they say and what information?
Just it was usually the grown-ups just asking questions about, we've got this problem, and can you, what should we do, and advice and things like that. The only thing I remember as children, we would just sit there and watch, and we'd get told off because we weren't praying properly or something like that. They just tell us off and make sure you guys pray, make sure you guys are not doing this properly, you're not doing that properly, things like that. That's what I remember of them. So for us kids, it was like we just sit there and watch, I guess, and the grown-ups would just have a conversation with them and talk to them.
And when did this stop?
It's been about 12 years now.
That there's no communication with them?
There is communication, but not like before.
Okay.
I think there is communication because it's my mom and some of my siblings, well, one of my siblings. Yeah, I think there is communication, but I've spoken to my mom recently, like a year ago, I think recently actually, and I've kind of since been re-educating myself regarding jinns and jinn possession. I've explained to her that what we've done all these years, or what this has happened, is wrong. It's we shouldn't be in that position. We shouldn't be communicating with them, and I think she does understand because she is practicing herself. But at that time, I think it was just normal. It was something that it was almost like a gift. So it's not harming us, and so yeah.
When you were growing up, did you suffer from nightmares or attacks?
Yeah, I used to be really, really scared. I would not be able to sleep in the dark by myself. So I was actually given a 𝗕𝗺 when I was young. When I was really young, and I had that for I think a couple of years. And then when I was about 8, 9 years old, I just took it off myself because I didn't want it. So I just took it off. But I don't know who gave it or what was in it. But it was for my fear. That's what it was given. Yeah. So about 3.5 years ago, I had Ruqya done once by a friend, and I did react at that time when there was a little girl. And again, I went to my family, and because they can contact other jinns, those jinns had taken that little girl away, the little jinn. And I thought that was it. That's the end of it, And then 3 years down, again, like I said, my friend advised for me to come here. So I thought, that jinn's gone, there's nothing more, that's it, So let me just try it. And I came with an open mind, to be honest. I thought, if I react, I react. If I don't, I don't. Let's just see what happens. And I literally came in, open mind, just ignored everyone around me, and just immediately I reacted. I wasn't scared or anything because, as I said, I've seen these things growing up, so it's just normal. I just thought to myself, there's something wrong and I just need to fix it. That was my main goal. When I first came here, there was one jinn, and he had left quite early when 𝗔𝗺𝗿𝗂 was here. I remember in that room, he had left, he made dua and he left, and I thought that was it. And when I realised there was a second one, and he was